Hello, my name is Davis Eckert, and today I'm going to be showing you some basic problem solving with Tableau and Power BI. I'm going to use a few different data sets, showing you different concepts like conditional formatting or drill up, drill down, putting joins together. But the first visualizations I'm going to do, I'm just going to make you a basic dashboard so you can listen to me kind of reason, use my logic to see if that makes sense to you and see if my visualizations make sense to you. Okay. But if you want to see like a nice fancy visualization, then definitely go to my Substack or go to my Tableau public page. And if you want to see it on Power BI, then I can send you that as well. Okay, so let's get started without further ado. I'm going to move my screen recording off to the side, just like the last video. I have three monitors, but I'm going to do all the action on the one I'm recording. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like in the end, roughly. So let's go ahead and move that over to the side. This is our file that we're using. This is Airbnb. Lots of good stuff here. This is actually a quite large data set. This one has a few thousand rows for this initial dashboard. But and later in the video in the other chapters, I'm just going to use smaller data sets just to nail down the basic concept. So in this one, we've got bedrooms, we have prices, we have all the reviews and the IDs and zip codes, all kinds of great stuff. Now, one thing that you will see is on here we have the price, but we also have price per week. So when we go to our second page that we're going to use, calendar, it also has a price, but it only has one price. It doesn't have a price listed up per week. This is the price that they actually rented it for. And on listings, this is just the listing of what price for a day and what price for a week and what price for a month. So if somebody did a week, then we do have potential of the data not matching between these two pages, between calendar and listings. So although when we open this in Tableau, it's going to want to use price, we're going to force it not to use price. We're going to join them together on ID because we know that matches. And the reason why it probably didn't initially match is because here on listings it's called ID, but on calendar it's called listing ID. So the names don't match, but the data does match. So let's close that. Let's open up a fresh page of Tableau, and I'm going to show you how this all works. It shouldn't take very long at all. So here's our Airbnb Excel file that we just showed you. We're going to open that up, and here's all three pages. There's the listings, review, and calendar, and we're just going to use listings and calendar. We're not going to use reviews. Here it popped up with 3,800 rows, just as we saw. Now when we add in, let's open this up because we're going to have to make sure that they join together correctly. So now let's throw in calendar and see what happens. Now I'm coming at this from the perspective of my friend or a company or whatever wants to get into the Airbnb business, and they want to see what are the prices that people are charging for in what zip codes, and does the price or the bookings decrease at certain parts of the year, increase certain parts of the year, maybe the holidays. And so we're going to answer all those questions. Okay, so we've got listings and calendar joined, and here's the join, and we can see that the data source is price and it's matching the price from the calendar, but we know that that may not be correct because this could be weekly price or day price or whatever price. So we're going to force it to join through ID. So we're going to go ahead and put listing ID is what it's called on calendar, ID is what it's called on listings. We're going to update that automatically. What these different joins mean, just very quickly, is inner join, what we have now, is it'll only show data on our visualization if it matches both. So if there's an ID that matches from listings and a listing ID that matches from calendar, then it'll show up. But if we did a left join, it'll just show everything from listings and only show calendar stuff that matches. And then vice versa for right and full outer, it just shows you all the data. And if there's duplicates or whatever, you're gonna see it. Okay, but more on that on the second chapter of this video. All right, so we have just over 1 million rows here, and I think we're ready. We got it joined correctly. We've got listings and calendar, so we can go ahead and go to sheet one. So this is all going to be in Washington State. It's going to process our request here, get all those million rows ready. And so we're going to do a line, we're going to do a few bar charts, and I'm going to kind of walk you through my logic. So the first one I'm going to do, probably the easiest one, is does the price or does the bookings fluctuate throughout the year? So if my friend, wants to maximize his income, but he still wants to take a vacation once a year, what time should he do that? So let's open up our date. We're going to throw in a date in there, and then we're going to throw in all the price that we're getting. So this is basically all the revenue. Let's go ahead and say that this line doesn't explain anything to anybody. So we're going to change this to week. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. But you can see our data. This isn't representative. This just means our data is dying. Like we don't have any more data. So we can edit that out because that looks terrible. We're going to filter the date. Bring that back. Looks like it's Christmas. Christmas is when it drops off. And we've got this empty space here, this 0. We don't need to see a 0. Let's edit the 0 out. Okay. And we can probably make this thicker, so there you go, looks a little better. Okay, so what are we looking at here? We're looking at the week of January 3rd because we put week in the date up here. So this is data sets by week. You can see that they jump around. The first week of the year, January 3rd, all the revenue together is 1 million. But at the end of the year, it's 2.1, so it doubles. So this is not an insignificant change. You can see that this is actually quite significant. But it's actually quite stable throughout the year. After March, it's pretty stable. It goes from 1.9, 1.9, 2, and then tops out at 2.1. So there's a little jump in the summer break, but really it's just the start of the year because everyone's sick of seeing their relatives. Everyone's at Planet Fitness trying to, do their New Year's resolution. They're not going out, but by the end of February, they're back to taking weekends, traveling around the state, trying to find the best cheesecake, right? Back to their normal selves. So I would say this is useful because my friend knows now that January is going to be kind of brutal. Maybe, you can take that month off and you're only losing half of what you normally would. Okay, so let's see what other visualizations we have. Let's do the map one. The map one looks cool. So that's sheet one, and we can label it. I'm probably not going to just because it save time. So this is revenue per week. Okay. Sheet two. Let's do longitude, latitude. This is going to put into a lot more perspective of what's going on here. And we need a zip code. Okay, so this is Washington State, Seattle, Washington. Let's change the visualization. So Seattle, Washington, and we're going to put our price in here. And we can make that a label. So this is per zip code. Each one of these boxes is a zip code. We are talking 1 million, 3.5 million up here next to Canada, 75,000. So this is not really useful because this is the sum of how much all the properties and listings in each zip code made altogether for the entire data set. So let's go to average. So there we go. Now per listing, we have something more reasonable. We have 205 for Seattle, Washington, and less than half that next to Canada, where there's no people, $68. but better, still not particularly useful. Let's throw it on a heat map. Okay, so this is a little better from just a glance. You can kind of see, okay, all of the rent's going to be a lot higher and what you can charge around Seattle than up here or down here. But we can do better. Let's keep doing better. So we've got the zip codes. We could put that as a label if you want to. We can also do bedrooms because this is adding, 1 bedrooms with 5 bedrooms. That's not great. Let's filter by bedrooms. Let's just do 1 bedrooms. Let's see. My friend wants to get a 1 bedroom apartment. And let's add the average price again. And we make that a label. Make it an average. And there you go. So now we know what the average price is for a 1 bedroom in each zip code. So this is a lot more useful, and I like orange. Kind of an orange guy. Okay, so I would say that's pretty useful, and you can get rid of these zip codes if they're too distracting. So now we got 2 visualizations. We know what the price fluctuation throughout the year is. We know per how many bedrooms. That's a 1 bedroom. We can do that. 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, whatever. We can change to see what the prices are. But let's just look at bedrooms. Why not look at bedrooms? Let's do bedrooms, and let's do average price. Okay, so now we have average price of the bedrooms, and we can do, let's throw some color on there. Let's do bedrooms on color. And we have a null and a 0. I don't know if these are vents. Maybe they're just renting out like a party room for a birthday. So we can exclude these because these are not. My buddy wants a place that actually has a bedroom. Okay. So there we go. So now again, this is the average price. You got $100 for a 1 bedroom, 200 for a 2, 3, almost 300 for a 3. Kind of doubles every time. But this isn't specific enough. We want zip codes. So let's find a zip code. 98126. Say my buddy found a property in 98126 and he wants to know how much that's going to cost, how much he can charge. There you go. They've got no listings for 6 bedrooms, and for a 1 bedroom it's $95. 2 bedrooms it's $176. So, we can kind of get an idea of our competition and what the prices are. Let's do another one. Let's do bedrooms again. And let's do ID. Let's see, where do I want this? Do I do listings ID? Oh, I do ID count. Okay. Exclude those. Okay, so this is giving us a square for each listing and that listing ID. So that's not great. Let's do distinct count. Throw a label on there. Okay, so now we know in the state of Washington, how many listings do we have per bedroom? And we probably want to do that for zip code as well. 9816126. 126. Gotta be. Okay, so now we know that in the zip code my buddy's looking at, there is 30 listings for 1 bedroom, 2 listings for 10, and not much for 3, 4, and 5, and 0 for 6. So, I mean, this is, this is pretty good. we can add this into a dashboard now. And we'll see if it looks like the one that I made earlier. So we've got our dashboard. We want it to be we don't want it to be phone, do we? There's one. There we go. Trying to get the size right. I think this one should go down here maybe. And then this one can go kind of right there. There we go. I think is there anything else that we can change this to? There we go. It's kind of a little bit more interesting, I guess. This one's giving you just a visual representation. If I can grab it. And maybe the numbers are better. Yeah, probably the numbers are better. There we go. Let's do that. Okay, so I think this kind of looks like the one that we started with. Let's pull that one in there and take a look. Pretty close. We got price by zip code, but it's basically the same thing as the heat map. So there you go. We have our first visualization, and I think it looks okay. And you can go in there and mess with, what zip code it is, how many bedrooms do you want to filter for, and you've got your heat map. I mean, you could really go to town with something like this. So there you go. That's my first visualization, and hope that made a lot of sense. And now we're going to move on to the next part of the video where I do joints.